Simon's case has made the national news and everybody thinks Nate is the main suspect since he has a record and is on probation. Wheeler visits the school and has a talk with him, telling him that she knows about the post that was made on about that, and if she finds out that it is true, he will be sent to jail. The principal has a talk with Bronwyn and asks her if the rumors are true about her cheating on the chemistry test. Bronwyn says the rumors are not true and the principal smiles, indicating that Bronwyn is just the student she expected her to be. However, she says that there will be a committee which will investigate the issue. Cooper has a talk with his father, who is waiting for him with a paper in his hands and tells him that the doping test turned out to be negative, but it states that painkillers were used. Cooper says he used the painkillers just this time for the showcase because he didn't want to blow their chance, and his father asks him if he has any more surprises for him, which makes Cooper go silent since he has never told his father he is homosexual. Bronwyn calls the kids for a meeting and says that they need to come up with a plan to distract the media so they stop going through their trash, and the best way to do that is by giving them a new suspect to focus on. Bronwyn adds that she believes Janae did it because, as Addie found out, she was fighting with Simon lately. Nate comments that those fights wasn't just about the app and probably Janae liked him. Addie says she can talk to Janae and extract some gossip out of her, and Bronwyn instructs her to also use the recorder so they have something credible to give to the press. When Bronwyn returns home, her sister Maeve has made a new discovery and tells her that she found a post about Cooper, which seems to be the original post about him, so the one that went live about him was changed by someone. Bronwyn calls Nate and tells him about it, speculating on whether Cooper was the one who changed the original post. When Nate goes to school the next day, he is approached by a reporter who asks him about the rumors of him selling drugs to a girl that almost overdosed, and a flashback takes us back in time and shows us that the girl mentioned was none else than Janae. Addie approaches Janae and pretends to be wanting to hang out with her, so they meet after school and go for some pancakes. Addie tries to make Janae talk and opens about herself and Jake, which in turn makes Janae say that about that initially started as an app that would expose the hypocrites but got out of hand. Addie has set up the recorder on her phone and tries to get Janae to admit that she was in love with Simon, but that backfires since Janae says she is homosexual and gets really mad at Addie for comparing Simon's death to her own boyfriend dumping her. Meanwhile, Maeve tells Bronwyn that she has created a fake Instagram account and is trying to talk to Cooper's old friends from Mississippi and dig deeper on his past, but his friends understand that he is being fished and stops communicating. Cooper calls the other three for a meeting and says he knows Bronwyn was trying to gather information on him. They tell him that they heard the police was around his house today, and Cooper replies they accompanied the ambulance that came to take his father, who had a heart attack. Cooper is worried about himself because he thinks he is a coward for not telling his dad his secret, which he now reveals and tells everybody that he is homosexual. While the kids gather near him and tell him his secret is safe with them, a mysterious hand uses a smartphone to take a picture of them. That same photo leaks on about that the next morning at school, and the post creator wonders if they gathered to find a way to make it out of the accusations or to pick their next victim. Bronwyn's boyfriend is mad at her for not being honest with him, and she tells him she can't be in this relationship anymore, which results in them breaking up. Later that night, the police visits all their houses, but the kids cover up their dirty little secrets and the policemen are unable to find anything that would frame them as guilty. After this incident, the kids are overwhelmed with a wide range of emotions. Addie visits a hair salon and wants to cut her hair, while Nate visits Bronwyn, and they think about destroying Simon's laptop. Maeve tries to talk them out of it, but she eventually hands them the laptop and tells them to do what they think is right. While Nate and Bronwyn ride to the edge of a cliff and throw the laptop into the sea, we see Maeve putting something into a folder which writes Detective Wheeler's name on it. When Nate takes Bronwyn to his house, his facial expression completely changes due to surprise, since he sees a woman he would never expect to see, his own mother. The next day, Bronwyn is summoned by Detective Wheeler and she attends the police station with her family's lawyer. Wheeler says that according to their classmates, Simon usually wrote things that were true on about that, so he wouldn't have a reason to write lies about her cheating on her chemistry test. Bronwyn says that Simon was very competitive towards her, and Wheeler asks if that would be enough reason for her to have a fight with him. Bronwyn replies negatively, but Wheeler spins her laptop around and shows them some footage of Bronwyn fighting with Simon and pushing him. The lawyer asks where she found that footage, and Wheeler replies from a copy of Simon's hard drive that was sent to her. Meanwhile, Nate has a talk with his mother, who apologizes for being absent for so long and asks him about the girl she was with yesterday. Nate tells her it was Bronwyn and she thought his mother is dead. His mother comprehends that Nate has been telling everyone that she is dead, which she does not like, and asks Nate for a chance to make things right. The kids meet once more and Bronwyn reveals that Nate has been lying this whole time and his mother is not really dead, but Nate retaliates by revealing that Bronwyn stole Simon's laptop and kept it to herself. The trust is lost among the group, and moments before they take their separate ways, Bronwyn says she wanted to warn them because the police is going to question them as well. Cooper returns home and his father tells him Wheeler has called him and said they need to go down to the police station tomorrow. Cooper tells him that there have been some rumors going around for him, but his father says he already suspected he likes men and that's okay with him. However, he still needs to keep it a secret if he wants to have a career in baseball. Wheeler has a talk with Cooper and tells him she understands his train of thought. Simon was going to expose that he is homosexual, which in turn would ruin his career in baseball and therefore his ability to follow his dream and make money for himself and his family. Cooper says he would never hurt anyone, and Wheeler says that is not quite accurate, and pulls a file of a past incident from Mississippi, which we don't learn yet. While Nate's mother is telling him to skip town and go and live with her, a new post goes live on about that, and it displays the video footage of Bronwyn being aggressive towards Simon, commenting that they might have just found their killer. Maeve enters her sister's room and reveals that Bronwyn was yelling at Simon at the video because she had gone through her phone and found out that he had sent Simon some private pictures of her. Bronwyn tells her she had to be careful because boys always share that kind of stuff, but Maeve tells her Simon didn't talk her into it, and she actually trusted him. She sent him those pictures because she wanted to. Addie meets with Janae at her house because she wants to talk with her about a new theory she has on Simon's murder. She thinks Keeley is the one who changed the post about Cooper somehow in order to protect him. However, she finds out more than she would expect when she notices that Janae's computer has a time zone that doesn't match the real time in her area. Her computer's time zone is set to 3 hours in advance, which matches exactly the time that appears on the About That app, where the posts appear to be on a 3 hours difference from real time. Addie grabs a knife and tells Janae to stay away from her, and Janae admits that she was the one who made the 4 initial posts about them and changed the post about Cooper because she didn't want to destroy his life. However, she was not the one who posted the picture of the 4 of them meeting, and someone locked her out of the app, which means she is not the one currently operating it. The next morning, Wheeler has summoned Addie and her mother to the police station, and she asks her various questions, which Addie avoids answering. Wheeler mentions that Addie is quite loyal, but those kids are not her friends. She also says that if she is withholding any information from the police, she might be accused of obstruction of justice, even though she might not be the killer. Addie eventually breaks and says that Bronwyn was the one who stole Simon's laptop. She didn't see it with her own eyes, but Nate did. Bronwyn has to attend a debate competition in school, and the subject will revolve around bullying in high school and its effect on the human psyche. One of Bronwyn's opponents targets her and talks about the video footage of her yelling at Simon, mentioning that in this case, verbal bullying leads to physical death. When it's Bronwyn's turn to speak, Maeve stands on her chair and demands everyone's attention, saying that they need to fact-check before they jump into conclusions because Bronwyn was not bullying Simon, but rather protecting her because she sent some pics to Simon and she was afraid he was going to make them public. Wheeler calls Nate to ask him about Bronwyn and the laptop, but Nate says he had no idea, while Janae rings Addie's bell and thanks her for not mentioning her to the police, adding that she has some more information to disclose. Cooper meets with Chris and narrates his infamous Mississippi story, where he was dating another boy and his brother joined in and blamed Cooper for turning the other boy into an anomaly, which resulted in them fighting aggressively. The next night, it's time for the homecoming party and Addie gathers the kids near the pool again. Only this time she has brought Janae along. Janae tells them everything she told Addie and adds that the day Simon was murdered, he had a fight with TJ in the hallway and that's how Simon got detention, probably because Simon had some dirt on him. Addie suggests they approach TJ and steal his phone in order to track where he has been lately. Bronwyn takes Nate aside and tells him Janae's story doesn't add up because TJ should have been in detention with them if he fought with Simon. So they decide to check on the theory by looking for the record files in the principal's office. They break into the office and find the corresponding file, which means that what Janae said was true, but they wonder why TJ was not with them in the library. In the dancing floor, things are not going quite well since Addie tries to approach TJ and steal his phone, but Jake gets right in the middle. But Addie won't give up that easily and she follows TJ on the terrace, steals his phone and locks him on the top of the building. Meanwhile, Janae receives an alert on her phone which instructs her to go to the locker number 102. Janae is scared but Maeve is not, so she goes to the locker, which belongs to Addie, and finds Simon's missing a epinephrine shot. Addie says that the shot was planted in her locker and Bronwyn gives TJ's phone to her sister to hack in, while she takes the rest to destroy the epinephrine shot so the police can't find it. When they get back together, Maeve tells them they were wrong about TJ since there is nothing suspicious in his phone, be it content or locations. The kids speculate on what might have happened in the library and they mention that Miss Avery was the only one present in the room with them. Some of them say she wouldn't kill Simon, but Cooper says Simon might have had some secret on her and reveals that Simon blackmailed Keeley in the past. telling her that he would keep Cooper's secret safe if she gave him something else to write about, which Keeley did and told him about Addie and TJ. While talking, a camera flash snaps at them and they run after that person, which seems to be Addie's former friend Vanessa. The whole school sees the new picture, but Addie says since everybody is going to stare at them anyway, they might as well enjoy their last homecoming dance. They hit the dance floor until TJ walks in and Addie runs near them. TJ says he did many things for her, but he doesn't like her anymore. Addie asks what he did and he says he gave Simon Miss Avery's secret to silence him about their own. TJ walks away, but the police walks in and arrests Nate for the murder of Simon. Subscribe to see more videos like this, turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.